Other people that buy one single copy and then spread it over the internet for everybody to get it for free, that is really something I am against.
People enriching other people's lives without charging for it? What a horrible thing to do!
Well, that means if you don't have the money, you can find or search for a way to get it for free.
When there is an acceptable way, of course. And if you wonder why that sounds so great, because it is!
And when I'm talking about downloading, I'm talking about illegal downloading.
Of course, because nothing tells us better what's acceptable and what isn't than the number of politicians that says so.
That is the stuff that creates these kind of laws. Not just, but I think it has a lot to do with people not buying the originals.
Makes sense. Why bother investing in a more customer-friendly distribution system that could increase your sales and profit? If the violence of government can be used to force those competitors out of the market that offer your product in a more convenient way, it's not as if you could learn anything from them.
I also don't buy the argument that people say it's not stealing, it's making an exact copy of it and spreading that over the internet, so the original is still there and therefore it's not stealing.
That of course depends on the definition of stealing, from which your position logically follows. So far the only consistent definitions I know of are taking something you don't own, or taking from someone who owns it. Those, especially in this case, have vastly different results. And if you don't use any consistent definition at all, then it's impossible to have a discussion because you have no clear position.
Let's say a supermarket makes a mistake and sends every cash register employee off to a lunch break. That means that there's nobody in the supermarket. I come in and I think, ooh, there's nobody. Does that mean that I can go in with a cart, fill it up and walk out again just because there isn't anybody to watch me and to make sure that I pay for my stuff?
That would be both taking something you don't own and taking something from the owners of the supermarket. Although, if you use the definition taking something you don't own, a case could be made that the supermarket owners couldn't own that stuff either. And more importantly, that even if you just copied it, you'd still be stealing by taking something you don't own. So, imagine someone stealing your mark and it's still there.
I don't really think that that applies for a document or a piece of music which can be copied.
So copying is only not stealing if the thing can't be copied. Interesting idea.
I mean, you can't go next to a car, copy the car, and then go spread it over the world and then say like, yeah, but the original is still there.
Does it mean the material costs are what matters? They have to be high enough for copying to be okay? So I can copy a car, but not a pencil? And it would be okay if I copied a file onto something expensive like a vinyl? No, that doesn't really make sense.
On the internet, there's a copy of an album, of a movie, of a document, and it's just a click copy, and then you have an exact copy of the original. It goes that fast.
Ah, so the speed is what matters. You don't have anything against copying. You just want to remind people to use a slow internet connection.